Let me start recording.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so let's read this again. This subtitle here.
It's a warfare venue for
Venue.
It's a warfare venue for a big sporting event than other recent hosts. Event. Event for other recent roles.
Okay. Do you understand? Do you understand this?
No, not completely. A warfare venue is like.
Venue is the place where you where an event takes place. So Anhembi in São Paulo is the venue for many fairs, right? The auto como é que chama? A feira do automóvel, all these things. So Anhembi is the venue for these events. In this case, they're talking about the country as a venue, Qatar as a venue, not specific buildings, right? But it's the same idea. So it's a worthier venue. Worthier, it has more value than other hosts. Qatar has more value.
Okay.
It's better. Yeah,
okay.
It's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Nice.
All right.
Doha, Qatar, November 16. Migrant workers are often treated very badly. There is much less sexual freedom than in Western countries. It is not a democracy. These statements are true of Qatar, where the month-long finals of the Football World Cup been this weekend. They are also true of Russia, which hosted the previous World Cup, and China, which hosted the most recent Olympic Games last winter. In fact, Qatar is a much more sustainable country to host a big sport event than either of those two.
Okay, let's look at pronunciation. Well, this is suitable.
And sustainable,
suitable. Yeah, and here the pronunciation is migrant.
Migrant, okay.
Yeah. I know we say immigrant. Yeah. Immigrant is not immigrant, it's immigrant, but this is migrant.
Okay.
Yeah. Migrant. Any vocabulary questions?
Suitable.
Suitable. Qatar is a much more suitable country. Suitable é apropriado, adequado.
Okay.
It's a positive adjective, right? You are suitable for your job. You are good for your job. You have the characteristics necessary for the job.
Oh, perfect. At best, Western criticism of the decision to allow the games to Qatar fails to distinguish between truly repugnant regimes and merely flawed ones.
Yeah.
At worst, it smacks of blind prejudice. A lot of the indignant pundits sounds as if they simply do not like Muslims or rich people.
Yeah, pundits.
Okay.
So vocabulary here.
Merely inflated, flawed, e pundits.
Okay. Merely and meramente, purely, simply, right?
Okay.
So the critics, they fail to distinguish, they fail to make a difference between merely flawed regimes, like for example, flawed means imperfect, with imperfections. Like everything and everybody in the world is flawed. Nothing is perfect, right? So Brazil is a very flawed country. We are all flawed people. We have imperfections. We're not perfect. So he's saying that Qatar is not perfect. Qatar is flawed, but Russia, for example, is more than flawed. Russia and China are repugnant, which is much worse. So he says that we are not differentiating between horrible regimes like China and Russia and flawed regimes like Qatar, Brazil, United States. These are flawed regimes. Okay. Yeah, that's his point. Okay. Pundits are people who have a very strong opinion about something, usually experts, commentators, newspaper commentators or something, but they have a very strong opinion, and they like to make polemics, you know, they like to make controversy. So they're complicated people. Like here in Brazil, on both on PT side and on Bolsonaro side, there are pundits, people who defend their position and are not open
no matter
to dialogue.
what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I have to get a glass of water. In the meantime, could you read again to yourself these two paragraphs, and then you tell me what they're about? Okay, just retell me these two paragraphs, just 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So he's showing the other side of this
Controversy.
Controversy. Yeah. He starts the text telling about the problems in Qatar, less sexual freedom for women, vegan works are often treated very bad, and all the things we have in mind. But he say about how FIFA did the same thing last times for the last cup, and we did the same thing for the Olympics in China, and in that time this was not a problem, and now this is, and he to a point this may be because the people have a problem with Muslim or rich people. And yeah, I think this.
Yeah, very good. The only thing he says that Qatar has less sexual freedom, not only for women, it's for everybody. They have, of course, women have fewer rights, and they don't have rights in Muslim countries. There's a whole complicated issue with women, but the sexual freedom is not only about women. For example, extramarital sex is also very condemned, and it's a crime, even for men, for example. I think that's what he says, yeah? So sexual freedom is a problem for I don't know if it's a problem, but it's a characteristic of Muslim countries to have less sexual freedom than Western countries, not only for women, but for everybody. And also for homosexuals, right? Also for gay people. Yeah, it's not accepted. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue.
Qatar may not be a democracy, but is not the despicable spotted of cartoonist editorials. The previous emir, under no popular pressure at all, introduced the elections of a sort. He also set up a news channel, Al Jazeera, that is more outspoken than its Arab rivals. Even if it goes easy on Qatar itself. That's a far cry from Vladimir Putin, Russia, where you get sent for prison for describing the war in Ukraine as a war, let alone democracy did.
Let alone denouncing it, denouncing the war.
Denouncing it, yeah. And it is a word of difference from China, where no peep of political descent is tolerated. The Argentina junta that hosted the World Cup in 1978 threw critics out of helicopters.
Wow, lots of vocabulary, right?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Did you sort of let's okay, let's look at vocabulary and then we can discuss the paragraph.
Okay. Qatar. Despicable.
Despicable, desprezível. Very
Okay.
bad, horrible.
Despotate. Despoted.
Despotate, yeah, it's a country that is a dictatorship. Despotate is a country where the leader is a dictator and he does whatever he wants and he runs over human rights and no human rights, blah 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 blah, all that. No freedom of speech.
Okay.
He's saying Qatar is not that. He's saying Qatar is not a democracy, but it's not a despicable despotate. And he's giving examples what he's talking about. Now.
Okay. The previous emir.
Emir is the monarch. Qatar is a monarchy.
Okay.
And they don't say the king, they say the emir in Muslim countries is an emir, is a monarch.
So they have, it's not a democracy, but they have elections.
Yeah, he says elections of a sort. So it's a kind of election. I don't know exactly what he's talking about. Evidently, they don't vote for the emir. They don't vote for the monarch, but maybe they vote for governor. Maybe they vote for, I don't know what they vote for, but there's some kind of elections.
He also said, okay, they have a channel. Even go on. That is a far cry from. A far cry from.
It's very distant from. So Qatar is not a democracy. It has problems, but it's a far cry from Russia. It's very far from Russia. It's not as bad as Russia, not nearly as bad. Far cry is very distant from. Yeah.
And these, when he's talking about China and this, where no peep of politician, what this? Where no peep?
No peep of political dissent is tolerated. No peep is any sound. Like mothers, when we're little and you're making too much noise, your mother says, I don't want to hear a peep out of you. I don't want to hear anything. Yeah. So peep is a little sound, any sound. So no peep, no sound of political dissent is tolerated in China, right? You go to prison, you can die or whatever. In Russia, it's the same thing. Russia now is the same.
Yeah. The Argentina junta.
Yeah, junta. This is a Spanish word, and they pronounce it in Spanish. Is a junta, and the junta in Argentina, like in Brazil, is a military group of people that govern the country. Yeah.
No. Okay.
So what are some examples that he gives that Qatar may not be a democracy, but it is not a despicable despotate?
He said about Russia. China and Argentina, they like Russia has problems with. He described the problem with Ukraine. If you say that it's a war in Ukraine, it's set to a prison or something like this. And in China, you have this no peep of political dissent. In Argentina, this junta. Okay.
Was killing.
There was
they were killing the opposition, throwing them out of helicopters, throwing them out of airplanes into the ocean, right? Actually murdering people who disagreed with the government. So in Qatar, we don't know that Qatar does any of that. So it's a little better than these other previous hosts that FIFA and the Olympic Commission, they didn't have any problem with these hosts before. Why do they have so many problems with Qatar now? That is his point, right?
No, perfect.
Okay.
The word also looks at migrants, workers in Qatar through at sorted lengths. For one thing, the Emirate is more open to foreign labor than America or any European country. Native Qatars make up only 12% of the population, a proportion supposedly more enlightened,
Enlightened, iluminados,
count.
né? Iluminados,
Ah,
free.
Countries simply would not tolerate. Although these migrants are sometimes mistreated, the weights most earn are life-changing. These migrants are sometimes mistreated, which is why so many want to come in the first place. And whereas hosting the Olympics twice has not made China more democratic, the chance to stay the World Cup has led to an improvement in Qatar labor's law.
Okay, vocabulary.
Okay. Wages.
Yeah, wages is a salary, but the difference between a wage and a salary, that a salary is usually paid per month and a wage is paid per hour. So a wage is more for working class people, hand laborers, hand workers. They are paid wages like $5 per hour, $10 per hour, things like that.
And mistreated.
Mistreated is treated badly. Yeah.
Okay.
Treated badly. Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
labor é de laboratório mesmo?
No, labor laws are leis trabalhistas. Labor is from work. O Partido Trabalhista da Inglaterra é the Labour Party. So labor has to do with workers.
Perfect. The claim that Qatar is a den of homophobia is also misleading. Gay sex is illegal, it's true, but so is all sex outside marriage. There are few prosecutions for violating these laws, however, and such conservative but seldom enforced laws are common throughout much of the developed world, and in almost all Muslim countries, Qatar hardly stands out.
Okay, vocabulary.
Okay. And such conservative but seldom enforced.
Yeah, these laws, they are conservative, yes, but they are seldom enforced, he says. So these laws exist.
A própria população é tipo isso? Seldom.
No, enforced. To enforce a law is what never happens in Brazil. We have many laws in Brazil, but they're never enforced, right? You cannot steal money from the government, but people take money from the government and they don't go to prison. So these laws are not enforced. É fazer valer a lei mesmo, né?
Okay.
You have a law and you don't enforce it, it's like it doesn't exist, right? Like in Brazil, so many laws in Brazil exist, but they are not enforced by the police or by the government, and then stays the same. There is no change in bad behavior in the population. Our politicians, they never change their behavior for many reasons, but one reason is impunity. The laws, the anti-corruption laws are never enforced against them. Yeah.
Okay.
So these laws, like gay sex is illegal, sex outside marriage is illegal, all these laws, they are conservative, but they are seldom enforced in Qatar. So in Qatar, they exist, these laws, é isso que o cara tá falando, né? Eu não sei, nunca fui para Qatar. But he says they exist, these laws, but they are not enforced. So people don't actually go to prison if they have gay sex. don't go to prison if they have sex outside marriage. They're seldom enforced. That's what he says. Seldom é raramente. Barely enforced. Okay. So you so far so good? You understand the text so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, what do you think about his argument? Is it convincing? Did you know these things?
He's convincing. I never thought about this side. It's a good side. Like, I think, realmente,
Depende, como é que é a frase?
Não sei, eu queria falar que a gente realmente tem um preconceito, alguma coisa assim. Tipo...
Really, we really have
okay.
maybe prejudice.
Really, yeah. Okay, we really have this preconcept.
Prejudice. Yeah. Prejudice.
Okay, so I think we will have this prejudice with Muslim countries. Maybe because, I don't know, for a
Westerner?
For much, yeah, the Western in general, principal about, I think, because of United States have problems with Muslim, we consume too much
information.
culture about information about the United States, and I think this will, with the time will get entered in our head, and I don't know. I think we have a prejudice. With
no, it is true that many Muslim countries have horrible treatment of women. I think what he's saying that Qatar is not one of those. Qatar has differences between men and women. Men maybe have more rights than women, but it's not saying that he's not saying that this is good, but he's saying that it's not worse than many other things that other countries do.
Yeah, exactly. I think we put everything in the same group. Like
same group.
All Muslim countries are the same thing.
All Muslim countries are like Afghanistan. All Muslim countries are like Saudi Arabia. Yeah. And it's not true. There are differences. And Qatar is maybe more progressive within Muslim countries. It is still a Muslim country. So it has its costume, its customs, right? It has the way its values and its culture. But it's not, maybe it's not, it is, and it may be infringing on human rights too. We don't know, but he's not saying it's good. These things are good.
Yeah.
The mistreatment of workers or the mistreatment of women. He's not saying this is good, but it's, these are the imperfections. These are the flaws that Qatar has, that maybe the country is even working to solve these things. Like he said, they're becoming a little bit more of a democracy. They don't really punish people who have gay sex. They have these laws, but they don't enforce these laws. So he's saying maybe Qatar is moving to a more progressive place, different from Afghanistan, which is not at all. On the contrary, Afghanistan is going back to the past. And
no, it's a good point. I never thought about this. Like, yeah, we really have a link is on China, and we know everything they done. But I don't know if I agree with this point, like, if happens with other countries, now I think it can happen again. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this. For me, there is problems. Of course, there is problems. And for me, I was like, I saw many people like frustrating and angry with Qatar, and no, they have to manifestar, tipo, os jogadores têm que se manifestar.
They have to demonstrate.
To demonstrate something. I don't know, because for me the problem is with FIFA. There is they organize this and they deliver it that okay, it's not a choice. It was a random sortie.
A draw.
It was a draw. It was a draw, but Qatar was there and Russia was there, and so for me the problem is with FIFA that agree with
And FIFA
all
probably
these
got some
countries
money.
and
Do you think
oh,
FIFA
of
was
course.
bribed? Foi suborno, maybe, né?
I don't know if it's a suborno, but of course there is a political questions on there, and I think it's not a really a draw. They
Maybe
put
maybe a
choice
tip.
in place.
Maybe they were como é que chama? Propina, né? Maybe they were,
Gorjeta?
yeah. Which is a bribe. Propina is a bribe, right? Yeah.
I don't know,
Maybe, but
but
FIFA is not famous for being super honest as an organization, right? I don't think FIFA is. I don't trust FIFA. I don't know if it's all that honest.
No, they have some scandals last year. I don't remember exactly why, but I remember the president of FIFA, well, they changed the president of FIFA because they had some problems. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Some corruption scandals.
so
yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
He's saying.
Yeah. Okay. Before we continue, I don't know if we'll have time to continue today, but I'd like to look at this vocabulary. We have been working with an app. Were you here when I showed you this Quizlet app to memorize vocabulary?
Of course.
Yeah. So we can start building a list for this text with some of these words.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm going to send you this text with these highlights. Okay.
Sure.
Let me send you this on in the group. I'll send text so you can open the text and choose words that you think good to be in our list. Okay.
Okay, I will download here the app. What I really want to do when all this crazy moment I pass, I want to download the partner, partner. That app that you say other class, you have a partner to talking.
Oh yeah, right. Yes. Tandem partner.
Tandem partner. Yeah, this is something I really want to do the next month. The next year, no? They start of next year.
Month. No, it's excellent.
We are basically in the next month.
Really, to have a
How's
chance
the name?
to speak. Tandem.
What? No, the questions, the app of the words that with the words to memorize.
Oh, Quizlet.
Quizlet.
Quizlet is for vocabulary. Tandem partner is for conversation. I put both of them in the group. So you can open the text that I posted in the group, and we can build a list for this. We start building a list. Yeah. Did you open the text?
It's open here. Yeah, open.
From The Economist. What's the date of the article? It was November 16th.
November 16th. Yeah.
So we can start. So what are some terms from starting from the beginning, from the top, that you think are interesting to put on the list?
Suitable.
Let's go back up. Do you think venue maybe? Venue,
okay.
No? Yeah, venue is good.
Venue
is a good word. Yeah.
Good word.
Venue. So we put the word in the app, and English. You can put a definition. No, we can put an image. These are venues.
Busca. Legal.
Yeah.
Ele já busca que é venue.
You can put an image, right? You can put an image, and so we can put the sentence from the text. Eu gosto de colocar uma frase no. Eu acho legal ter o contexto, sabe? Não ter só a palavra.
No, it's better. Let me think.
So for example, you can put something similar to what we saw in the text.
The World Cup is venue on Qatar. Makes sense.
Yeah, we can put the World Cup. No, Qatar is the venue. Qatar
Okay.
is the venue.
The venue.
Or is this year's venue for the World Cup. And so location, right? Something like that. And what I do, this is what I do. I remove the word that I want to remember from the definition. So when you play with this, the card will show on one side venue, and on the other side, you have to remember venue to put it here. Right?
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Okay, another word?
Event, I know.
Event is okay, yeah.
I think the next
suitable,
is suitable.
Yeah. Suitable.
Suitable, okay.
Fala, não é sweet, né? É suitable. Suitable. E daí tem algumas opções que eles dão aqui, tá vendo? Olha, a suitable candidate, você pode colocar só a palavra, ou pode colocar com a preposição, suitable for the job, suitable for something. Legal colocar com a preposição, talvez.
Legal.
Eles dão algumas possibilidades de definição, acceptable or right. Eu prefiro colocar frase do que colocar a definição. Para mim, me ajuda a lembrar mais um contexto do que uma definição de dicionário. Mas cada um escolhe como quer fazer. E eu gosto de colocar imagem também, porque a imagem me ajuda muito a lembrar a palavra. So, aqui, ó, um brinquedo, né? A toy is suitable for children from 0 to 3, for example. É legal esse aqui, né? Suitable. E daí a frase? What sentence would you like to put here for suitable?
Can be this toy is not suitable for children
under 3.
Oh, under 3. Yeah, I would say over 3, but still.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can leave the definition if you want. You know, they give you a definition. You can even leave it in parentheses to help you remember. You build this, right? Nice. You decide what you want to do. But I think suitable. This toy is not blah 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 for children under 3. So when you play, you have to remember the word suitable. Another word?
Merely.
Merely, yeah.
Merely. Here they say he say merely, flayed, flawed.
Yeah, merely flawed. Flawed é uma outra palavra. A gente põe na próxima definição. Okay. Aqui eles colocam, por exemplo, eu gostei dessa opção aqui, ó, merely, only. Então ele dá um sinônimo, por exemplo, né? Fica também, eu acho legal. Or just, merely, only, just. Tem sinônimos ali, pode colocar uma imagem. Let's put an image. What image do you like? Tem outras também. Merely. Here, maybe this one.
I think it's better.
It's a good one. Merely, it's a little bit, only or just. And what word could you, what sentence could we put here?
I don't know.
We can take it from the text if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Some regimes are merely flawed or are merely imperfect, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. That's regimes.
Merely imperfect. Others are repugnant, for example. Some regimes are repugnant. Others are merely flawed. Imperfect. Like that. Okay. Eu prefiro tirar o sinônimo daqui, deixar só o merely aqui e colocar o sinônimo aqui. Para ajudar depois.
Tá.
Eu prefiro. Mas cada um, a memória de cada um funciona de um jeito, né? Então, ok. So flawed também é uma palavra boa para pôr, né? Flawed. Flawed. Let's see if they have some imperfect, defective. These are good definitions. But we can put a sentence too if we want, and an image. Flawed. Oh, the sisters, Cinderella sisters.
I think the magic cube is it's easy to remember.
Which one? Oh, the cube.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Do you want to put a sentence too?
Okay.
Human beings are flawed, for example.
Are flawed.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody is perfect. Human beings
are flawed.
For example. Okay. All right.
Pundits.
Pundit, yeah. Pundit. Let's see what images they have. Critic, expert, a learned person who gets authoritative opinion. This is exactly it. Maybe they have an image. Pundit.
Yeah. Some philosophers.
Or some philosophers. Or
trust me, I'm a doctor.
Doctor. I don't know.
I forgot his name.
This guy here?
This last one. Do you know who is him?
No, I don't know him. Where is he from?
He's from Ratatouille.
And is he a pundit? Is he a pundit?
Is he criticizing the restaurant?
Perfect. So it's perfect.
Where the mouse cooks.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Maybe we have time for one more.
Okay.
Despicable.
Despicable.
Despicable. Tem filme da Pixar que chama Despicable Me. Como é que chama em português?
Despicable Me?
Despicable Me. É aquele com cara careca, o narigão. É o que tem os
é o meu malvado favorito aqui.
Meu malvado preferido.
Despicable Me?
In English is Despicable Me. Yeah.
Nice.
Ok, the image, talvez seja ele, hein? Talvez a gente ponha uma imagem dele. Aqui,
Ok.
Contemptible, deserving of contempt, hateful.
Ok.
Hateful, desprezível, né? Do you want to put a sentence?
Let me think. Qatar is in the text. He say Qatar is not so despicable like other countries.
Yeah, the article claims that Qatar is not as despicable as other countries.
Perfect.
For China. Countries não, vamos colocar governments, né? Coitado do país, não tem culpa, são os governments. Article that Qatar's regime is not as despicable as other governments.
Like Russia or China. Ok.
Perfeito. Aí a gente cria, depois dá para editar, então dá para colocar mais depois. Mas esse já está criado, eu te passo o link dessa... Eu copiar o link, eu te mando o link dessa lista, daí você pode praticar, você pode brincar com
Okay.
ele para decorar essas palavras.
Oh,
Okay?
perfect. Nice.
Okay, so I'll see you next Monday, Rafa.
See you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.